Alright, so I just wanted to show off this box that I made for my sister for her Christmas present. Every year I do something stupid for her present. I always try to wrap it in more and more elaborate ways. So this year, I've definitely gone the most all out for this one. What she wanted from me was art prints. So I decided to make an entire, museum-themed escape room box type of thing. So, with her being a thief who has stolen this box from a museum and is trying to open it to get to the art inside. So the box itself, it's just a big bin. It says property of the National Museum on the top, as well as do not remove from museum grounds. And then right over here, there is a little piece of paper that says at museum_heist. Now she has to discover that links to an Instagram account. So if she goes to at museum heist, it's an Instagram account that I made. And it will have one single picture on the account that I will put up on screen right now. So as you can see, it says watch the video in the bio, then call this number once you're in. Now, the video in the bio is a video about how to pick locks, and the number is a number that you will see what it goes to in a minute, but there's also, it shows that there are lock picks hidden right underneath here. This paper is actually covering up a hole where you could see them in the box. So she has to get the lock picks out and then learn how to pick the lock in order to open the box. Alright, I have my camera up on my tripod now so I can show you this box in more detail. So this is an incredibly easy to pick lock. I'm assuming that even without her having any knowledge of lock picking at all, she'll be able to figure it out. So that is that box open, that lock open. And the next step is to pull all this string off and get into the box itself. So I'll just do that off camera and then show you what it looks like on the inside. Okay, so now that we're inside the box, you can see there are several different containers. We'll go through them one by one. So first off, you'll have this tube that says tools on it. No lock or anything on it, you can just open it. It's a Pringles can that's been spray painted. So that's the first one. Second box is large, very heavy, says security on it, and has a lock, a picture of a lock, and it also has a 3-digit combination lock on the side of it. And then the biggest thing in there is an entire second bin. This one also has a lock on it and is also a 3-digit combination lock held together with some paracord like the other one. It just says art and artifacts and says property of the National Museum, fragile, and do not remove from museum. Now we have to call the phone number now that we're inside the box. Alright, so when you call the phone number, what you'll hear is this. I'm going to insert the audio clip right now.
Congratulations! The first part of the heist went exactly as planned. You managed to steal the box, but the challenges don't end there, I'm afraid. If you're hearing this, you must have managed to get it open. Good job. There wasn't much our man on the inside was able to do, but he was able to slip a little something to help you. The tube-marked tools should be of assistance. I'm told he put further instructions inside. Good luck, and remember, don't get caught.
Alright, so the message says to start with the tools container, which is also the one that's not locked, so it's pretty obvious we're going to start with that one. So let me move the other stuff out of the way and we will get started on tools. Alright, so here's the tools canister here. Once you open it up, there's a few things that are inside of it. The first thing you'll find is the bottom of a Starbucks iced coffee cup. You'll also find a folded up piece of paper with some stuff written on it. And then last, there's the bottom of a Starbucks hot cup. Now both of these cups have things written on them. Now the paper is probably the first thing you're going to look at. So it has on this side a bunch of partially visible words. You can't really read what they say. You could probably figure it out if you really wanted to. As well as little bits of text that say line up. Can't really tell what it says though. But on the other side, there's an entire letter. So this letter says, if you're reading this, congrats on stealing the box, but the hard part starts now. I was able to slip this note in to help, but I started getting weird looks and wasn't able to do more. Here's what I do know. The box contains priceless art and artifacts, like we hoped. The most valuable pieces are at the very center. Unfortunately, the box has a built-in computer with a highly advanced security system that you'll have to get through before you get to the art itself. I know someone who might be able to help. After you've gotten into security, call this number and you should get assistance. Then there's a phone number listed, and then it says, fold this note, you should know how to proceed into security. Now, I know my sister, I know that she will know to fold this into a paper crane based on the pattern of folds. So I'm not going to do that right now, but if you do, you'll see that this says, put cups together, line up boxes, follow or turn cup, follow arrows, or something like that. So you look at the cups then, you see that they have text written on them. Let me just zoom in so you can get a better look of this. So they have this text written on them. There's a box with an arrow on each cup. As this one has a series of arrows and numbers, and the other one has the same box with an arrow and then a series of letters that are actually arranged in the order of a keyboard. So when you put the two cups together and you line up the boxes, you then get this, and it's a puzzle. So this says 14 to the right, so you have to turn this 14 to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and you get F in that little window. Then you go to the next one and it says 5 to the left. So you turn it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the left and you get O. You do that for all the ones all along the edge of the cup and it gets you the code 404. I'm not going to go through the entire thing because that would be very tedious, but just know that when you solve this, you get 404. Now the lock on the box for security is a 3-digit code lock. So the code for that is 404. And now with that, we can get into security and call the second phone number. All right, so here's the security box. If we just enter 404 on this code, it opens. You can pull this lock off. And let's see what we have inside. Open it up. And the first thing you see is this chalkboard labeled password with a password written in asterisks. Under that, we have several small bags. This one says command prompt. This one also says command prompt. This one says power supply. This other one also says power supply. And then the last one says help. You can also see there's a bunch of electronics in the box. This is mostly just for aesthetics, but this piece here will be used in the puzzle. So now we call the phone number and this is what it says.
Ah, I was hoping I'd hear from you. Word on the street is you've acquired a rather valuable item, though I'm willing to bet such an item comes with a high-tech security system. Now, I'd be happy to help you disable it, for a modest fee, of course. First thing you're going to want to do is make sure the system's powered up, because none of us get paid if you can't turn the damn thing on. Once that's done, look for a way to enter text commands. Try edit or terminal. That should be enough to bypass the security and allow you to deactivate the system, and from there we're all home free. So, good luck, and don't forget about my fee.
Alright, so with that information, we're ready to start opening these bags. Let's open the command prompt bags first. Inside of those, we get a few silver popsicle sticks with weird things written on them. Inside the other command prompt bag, we get 4 more of the same popsicle sticks. Inside the first power supply bag, we have 2 batteries that are painted white with some of the same symbols on them. If we open the other power supply bag, we get, you guessed it, again, 2 of the same batteries with those same symbols on them. And if we open the help bag, we have a little piece of circuit board that says on it, turn bat bags inside out. So that means to turn the battery bags, since they power supply on them, inside out. You can see that there's stuff bleeding through. It's not that hidden anyways. But you turn these inside out. And what we have on the inside of them is the key for the code that's written on these popsicle sticks and batteries. Alright, so yeah. The way this code works, it's a very simple code. It's called Pigpen Cipher. So you draw these 2 grids and these 2 X's and fill them in with dots on the second of each one. And then each letter just corresponds to the spot that it's in. So if you drew just this shape here, that would be A. If you drew just this shape here, that would be B, and so on. It's a really simple code and it's really fun. So the message said to try entering the words edit and terminal. Well, there are 4 batteries and there are 8 popsicle sticks, which makes it seem like edit is probably going to be the 4 letter and terminal might be the 8 letter. So let's first take the batteries. There's only 4 of them. It'll be pretty quick. You see these are labeled 1, 2, 3, 4 along the side of the battery holders, and the batteries themselves are actually labeled on the bottom. They say 1, 2, 3, and 4 also. So with that, it's pretty straightforward to figure out that they go into spots. And I'm not going to slide them in because it might scratch the paint off, but just so you can see, there's clearly on battery 1 an E, on battery 2 there is a D, on battery 3 there's an I, And on battery 4, there is a T. The rest of it is just misdirection, but it does say edit here now. Now with that, we have this code. If we use our keys to solve this, it says wipe text. Now that might seem like it doesn't make any sense at first, but then you remember that we have a chalkboard. So if you wipe away everything on this chalkboard, I'm not going to do it right now because I don't want to have to rewrite it. It didn't really work very well. I was hoping that this chalkboard would be better, but underneath the password itself are little bits of the same code hidden inside the boxes and the asterisks. I'm thinking maybe if I angle it, you'll be able to see through it. It's written in black Sharpie, so it's just shiny against the background or not shiny. But if you plug that code in, it says 8. I'm not going to do that again because I don't want to mess this up and have to redo it. It's really a pain to use this chalk on this slate. It's a really bad slate, but the password is the word 8. Now we move this aside and we pull these popsicle sticks out. So again, there's 8 of them. We know that we have the word terminal. They have 2 sides, but I'll tell you guys, there are no repeated letters. So the ones that, there's one of them says E, there's not another one that says E on either side. So with that, we can just simply plug them in until we get terminal. And then again, simply we can just solve this code using our keys that we got on the bags. And this code says 1, 2, password. Now that gives us a 3-digit code, 1, 2, and the password, which is 8. And the Art and Artifacts box has a 3-digit lock on it. So we can now plug that code in to open the Arts and Artifacts box. All right, so from the last puzzle, we got 128 was the password or code. So if I plug 128 into this lock, there we go. It's open just like that. And then we can pull this string off, or paracord off, and open it up. All right, now, inside this box, we have quite a few things. First of all, on top there is a letter to the curator. I'll put that aside for now. Secondly, we have all this paper, but it is just packing. Then there's assorted different artifacts and art in here that I'll pull out in just a second, as well as this one big silver tube that also has a lock on it. Now this is the final tube. This is where the present goes. So we'll get to that very last. Let me pull everything out of here and put it out on the table for you to see. All right, so I have everything from that box laid out on the table now. We'll start with this letter. So it just says, to the curator, greetings friend, after all these months it's good to write to you again. 6 years I have traveled the world collecting all kinds of items and now they are yours. I included an assortment of art and objects that you may wish to display at your museum. Some are exceedingly valuable, so this box has a built-in security system to keep them from getting damaged. The most valuable items are locked in the silver tube. I can't wait to see the exhibit you put together when I visit. Your friend, Sir Ferdinand Lithrow, Explorer. Now, you'll notice a few things about this letter instantly. First of all, there's a bunch of letters that are capitalized that don't really make any sense. And second of all, the lines are divided up very weirdly. They're kind of just split in the middle of sentences, in the middle of everything. It's not an actual paragraph structure or anything like that. So if you simply do the obvious thing, take all the capital letters and nothing else, it says, tags are Morse, look inside, arrange tiles. So those are kind of the instructions for this box. So let's move on to the next part. So inside we have these 11 containers. They're all labeled, there's 11 containers, they're labeled 1 through 12. The big one has both 11 and 12 written on it, but it is just one thing. So these are each an art or an artifact. So let's go through them one by one in order, just so you can see what kind of things I put together. I think they're fantastic, I love them. So they're also labeled on top of the containers themselves and on the tags. So the first one we have, it's a pill bottle. They're all pill bottles, well, most of them. This one's full of sawdust, as you can see. And it says, 1 sawdust from the crucifixion of Jesus, 33 AD, Jerusalem. And then you can see there's a little bit of Morse code on the bottom. It says dash dash dot. So I'll put that one aside for now. 2 is some little sticks. And it says, twigs from Anne Frank's chestnut tree, 1944, Amsterdam. As well as, again, a little bit more Morse code. So it just has a dot dot and then 2 vertical lines. 3 is just some random bits of electronics. They're actually from disposable cameras that I used for a previous project. And it says, electronics from the first space station Salyut 1, 1971 Earth orbit. This one's also doesn't have its top on all the way. Four is this one, which if you open it up, it is coffee. It's ground coffee. It's very strongly smelling. It says, grounds from the first discovery of the coffee plant by Kaldi, 1850 AD, Ethiopia, as well as ... vertical line, and then another dot. Now 5 is some spices. If you actually open it up and look at it, it's catnip. And it says, spices taken by the Dutch East India Company from the Portuguese ship Santa Catarina, 1603 Singapore. And it says ... and then a vertical line. 6 is some little pieces of broken glass figures. And it says, fragments of glass figures created by Angelo Barovier shortly before his creation of Cristallo glass, 1453, Venice, as well as ... vertical line, and dot. 7 is this little pouch. It says, pieces of a lost work of Wassily Kandinsky from the Blue Rider period, 1913, Munich. If you open this up, you can see there are these 6 little tiles in here that are all little canvases, all with some art on them. I'll put that aside for now. And then this also fell out, this little scrap of paper. We'll put that over here too. 8 is fish food. This is little shrimp pellets for fish. And it says, coprolites, fossilized feces from the small ankylosaur Minmi, Middle Cretaceous, Australia. Or Middle Cretaceous, Australia rather. And it has a lot more Morse code on it. ... vertical line, dash, 2 vertical lines, dash, vertical line, and then another dot. Now if we get to 9, 9 is this one. This is a painted Tums container. As you can see, it is painted to look like a pot. Let me brighten up the view a little bit so you can see that. It's painted to look like a pot. It's got some leaves on it. It's on both sides. And the label on this one says, Minoan pottery in the floral style from the New Palace period, 1450 BCE, Crete. Now, 10 is the other pot. This one has soldiers with shields and spears on this side, and on the other side, if I pull this off, you have a tree with some kind of animal and someone with a spear attacking it. I don't know how that shows up on camera, but that's what it is. And then the card says, black figure pottery from the Middle to Late Archaic period, popular in Greece for many years. 540 BC, Athens. Alright, so, since these are all numbered, if you take the Morse code from them all and you put them all together in order, it says 7 is first number. Now, in case it wasn't clear, with the vertical lines and the 2 vertical lines, vertical line was just a separator between 2 letters, and the double vertical line was a separator between 2 words. I just used that for clarity to make it easier for her. So we got 7 is first number. Now, there are, again, 3 digits on here, so we can safely assume that 7 is the first one. Now, what else did the other thing say? It said, look inside. Now, when we took out the Kandinsky things, a little piece of paper fell out. If we open this up, it says, Apple creates the iPhone on one side, and on the other side, it has the letters OU. That doesn't really make any sense, but if we look at the other ones, they actually all have a little piece of paper inside. This one says The Big Bang, and on the back says TH. I'm not going to pull them all out because it would be kind of a pain to pull them all out, but I'll pull out a few more. This one says Pride and Prejudice is published, and on the back says IG. Now, Pride and Prejudice is one of my sister's favorite books, so that is why I included it there. Her entire present last year was Pride and Prejudice themed, so it was kind of a nod to that one. If I pull out like 1 or 2 more just so you can see what they say. This one says the Parthenon is built. One of them says D-Day. One of them says the Apollo moon landings. They're all just events in history, and I think it's pretty self-explanatory that you have to arrange them chronologically from earliest to latest, and then if you turn them over, the text on the back will spell something out. Now, what that spells out is the last digit is 4. So now we know that the 7 is first number, and the last digit is 4, which means we just need to figure out what the middle number is. Now, if you remember, the letter from the curator also said arrange tiles. Now, the only tiles that we've gotten at all so far are these Kandinsky paintings. So if we move all this aside and pull the Kandinsky paintings out and take a look at them, it may be kind of hard to figure out from first glance, but if you fiddle with them a little bit, it becomes pretty obvious pretty quickly what it is that they make. So if I just put them all together for you, you get the number 3. Now, oops, I don't know if you can see that, there we go. Now, as we know, there's 3 digits on here. There are, in fact, we now have 3 digits. So we know 7 is first, so I can put in 7. We know that 4 is last, which means that 3 must be the middle. And just like that, it opens. Also, if we take a look at this, it says on the side of it, has cards like the other ones, numbered 11 and 12. The first one says, one in a series of limited prints signed and numbered by the artist Alessandro Olenau, 2020 Brooklyn. And then another limited print, this one by artist Lila Ekboar, numbered, signed, and with a certificate of authenticity, 2020 Argentina. Now those are 2 of the prints that my sister wanted for Christmas, so presumably they are in this tube. However, when we open the tube, we see that there is in fact only a piece of paper inside and nothing else. If you look at the piece of paper, it says, "Ha, sorry to say, but you got here too late. We already stole the valuable prints before the box was ever taken by you. Since you've gotten this far though, here's one clue we will give you so you can have another shot at stealing the art. Soon it will be sent through, and then it has my sister's address. Maybe if you're good, you can retrieve it, but I doubt it. Suck it, loser." And that's the end of the puzzle. Because of the pandemic, as well as other factors, I could not in fact have the prints sent to me in time. I didn't think I was even going home, so I didn't have time to plan this in advance. So I had to just mail the prints to her. So they are on their way to her right now, and she'll get them soon. So this entire present was actually for nothing. Her presents are not in here, and they have just been mailed to her, which is kind of funny. But yeah, that is the puzzle box. Took me a few days to work on it and make it. I've got tons of notes from the process, and I really think that she will like it. I really hope she likes it. I think it definitely tops the one from last year, and I'm excited to share it with her as well as with you, honestly, because I'm really proud of what I've created. So yeah, thank you for watching. Bye.